The Masters.
The Masters.
The Masters.
Augusta.
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 Our annual tradition unlike any other.
Hello, friends, and good morning from the Masters.
Well, he's incredible. He's the number one in the world, and he's that for a reason. His short game is very, very, very reliable.
Ludvig Åberg, in his first ever major, looks incredibly composed.
Hitting the ball better than anyone else in the tournament. Just can't make the ball go in the hole for a birdie.
Could have been a confluence of a number of things, but now he's in scramble mode, trying to avoid a double bogey.
And Tiger Woods was out there playing pretty well. Also, the history he made and how he feels about that history.
The 2024 Masters at Augusta National was a showcase of drama and excellence as golf's finest battled the fickle winds and fast greens. Of the 89 players that suited up to play, only 8 managed to score under par by the end of the 4 rounds, showcasing the difficulty in this year's major. But the top talent showed out and records were broken. So in today's video on Good Bogey Golf, we'll be covering all the storylines and takeaways of the 2024 Masters. From Tiger Woods' new Masters record to Scottie Scheffler's hot streak, all the way to the controversial LIV players taking the course and being friends with the PGA again. There is plenty to cover today. If you stick with us till the end, we will cover Tiger's performance and some notable disappointments from some of the PGA's and LIV's brightest stars. Could their prime be coming to an end, or was this just a small blip on their record? Either way, nothing seems to be standing in the way of Scottie Scheffler.
Did my best to stay calm out there. I tried to stay patient on the course and was able to make some key shots and key putts today to kind of keep my round going. And Ludvig played great today.
So let's tee off with the man of the hour, the champion of the 2024 Masters. Scottie Scheffler has once again shown why he's at the top of the golfing world, with his dominant performance at the Masters earning his second green jacket in just 3 years. His play has been unmatchable as of late. He's won 2 of his last 3 tournaments and placed runner-up at the Houston tournament coming in. With the win at Augusta, it gives him his 3rd title in just over a month as he continues his sizzling streak of play. Not only can he hit the ball for a mile with laser-like precision, but his putting game has also gone from the unsubtle heft of a sledgehammer to whispering across the green with elegance. Each stroke a masterful blend of finesse and control. Many critics are finding it hard to point out any weak points in his game, and it showed. From the start of the tournament, Scheffler's performance was nothing short of impressive. In his first round, he scored a dominant 6 under with a total of 66 overall. He then went on to score a par in the second round, 1 under in the third, and finished off with 4 under in the final. While it looked like it was going to be close going into the 4th round, he pulled away and separated himself from everyone, with the runner-up being 4 shots behind. Not only is he consistent, but he's got the clutch gene. And this makes it hard not to see everyone else in the field playing for second place anytime Scheffler is on the greens. It almost feels like nothing can stop Scottie Scheffler except himself. And as it turned out, he almost did. The world number 1 had the unfortunate timing of having his wife potentially go into labor midway through the tournament. He stated that if it happened, he would have left the major at a moment's notice. To the players' dismay, it didn't happen, and he secured his 2nd green jacket in style. Chances are this won't be his last win either, as he is clearly pulling away from the rest of the field. No one is even close to his consistency and talent at this point. Bad news for the rest of the field, but great news for golfing fans. Could he be another Tiger in the making? Okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves. He did have some competition that came close in the last round. The 3rd place finisher was none other than Max Homa. Many critics would not have predicted that he placed 3rd, let alone top 10. In 17 previous major starts, Homa had missed 9 cuts and earned just 1 top 20 finish, but that record changed this year. The fan favorite who likes to take things a little less seriously changed his entire demeanor coming into this year's Masters. Homa was paired with Tiger Woods in the first 2 rounds and managed to make the cut, scoring 67 and 71. He continued his consistent play into the 3rd and 4th rounds, scoring 73 on both, and finishing with a final score of 4 under. He had plenty of chances to score better, but he couldn't make birdies when it mattered. And this is where champions are made. They don't wait for others to make a mistake, they hit to win and get ahead. While his performance was noteworthy and he placed third place overall, he didn't take any risks. So does he have the skills to win a major? Probably not, at least not right now. He needs to clean up his putting and make some shots when it matters. On the other hand, the future is looking bright for the runner-up, Ludvig Åberg. Here's a player that may win a major, and soon. The hype behind this player is growing, and for good reason. This time last year, he was still in college. But on Sunday, he finished solo second in his Masters debut in his first major championship start. His play was ice cold over the weekend, and at some points, he was seriously in contention for winning. The demeanor and poise he is showing at such a young age is incredible. But Åberg's chance at winning was derailed Sunday by a double bogey at the par 4 11th hole, where he pulled a 216-yard approach into a water hazard left of the green and didn't get up and down. But he rallied with birdies on numbers 13 and 14 and kept a clean card from there to the house. He finished with a final score of 7 under through 4 rounds. Overall, he performed extremely well through all 4, as he scored 269s, 170, and 173. That's an incredible feat for his first major appearance and suggests that he will likely challenge Scheffler for a title in the next major, especially if Scheffler makes any big mistakes. At just 24, and we could see some very dominant performances coming from this player in the future if he keeps it up. Now, let's turn our attention to the LIV players and Tiger Woods. In total, 13 LIV Golf players participated with varying success. 5 players missed the cut, while 3 managed to secure positions in the top 10 of the final leaderboard. Most notably, the defending champion Jon Rahm did not make it into the top ranks. Jon Rahm struggled throughout the entire tournament and finished tied for 45th place with Brooks Koepka at 9 over par. Luckily for LIV, Bryson DeChambeau and Cameron Smith came to play, both tying for 6th place with scores of 2 under par. This was 9 shots off the winning score posted by Scottie Scheffler. While the final score shows a massive gap between contenders in the winner, Bryson was in contention for a while, being only a few shots behind the leader. In addition, for DeChambeau, a 2020 US Open champion, the 6th place finish represents his best performance at Augusta National. On the other hand, Smith had his best finish at the Masters in 2020 when he tied for 2nd. Still, making the top 10 is no easy feat, and he had a solid performance all around. We also can't forget Tyrrell Hatton, who made a notable appearance in the top 10, securing the 9th spot at even par. This was somewhat of a better result than most expected from LIV players. Sure, some of the bigger names like Jon Rahm didn't perform, but the overall field competed. It's clear the LIV guys are here to stay, as long as they can get enough points to qualify. It will be interesting to see how many of them will compete in other majors coming up this season. Could one of them even make a run for the title? The talent is there, and it sure would make things interesting. And there was one other surprising player that made an appearance. Not playing, but cheering. We're talking about LIV Golf's top executive, Greg Norman, a 2-time major winner who finished as a runner-up at the Masters 3 times. This was controversial since there's been so much drama between the two organizations as of late. And of course, Fred Couples, who's being vocally against LIV, took the chance to haggle Norman. What better way than to point out that not one of the LIV players offered to buy Norman a ticket. He even went as far as to state that he would have covered himself had Norman reached out, a cheeky jab, but one that Norman could seem to care less about. He was there to cheer on his players, and for good reason. They are the brand behind LIV, and if they perform, more eyes will be on LIV. Now, let's turn our attention to another star on the greens, Tiger Woods. It's been a long time since we've seen Tiger complete a 4-round major, 2 years in total, but this year that changed. The last major he completed was the 2022 Masters, in which he finished 47th overall. So not surprisingly, everyone was eager to see what the Tiger would put out in this year's major. And in his first few rounds, he didn't disappoint. Woods opened with rounds of 73 and 72, setting the all-time record with his 24th consecutive made cut at Augusta National. This put him in a tie for 22nd place, only 7 strokes off the lead, allowing one to dream of a weekend charge up the leaderboard. But his body caught up to him on Saturday afternoon. He scored a total of 10 over with a 82, which put him well back of contending for the title. His final score put him in last place among the 60 players, but he made the cut and set a historic record while doing it. In addition, He stated his goal is to attend all 4 major events this year. This is a hopeful sign for any Tiger fanatics. Will he win another major though? The chances are pretty slim. With his injuries and inconsistent play, it's unlikely we will ever see him in prime form again. Now, speaking of performances, let's move on to the disappointments. One of PGA's darlings, Rory McIlroy, finished with a final score of 1 over, which put him tied for 22nd place. This is far from what many expected, as he was one of the potential runner-ups to win the event. Many critics are starting to believe that Rory may never complete his Grand Slam of winning all 4 majors, and that his time has passed. In addition, both Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas missed the cut. This is a continuation of poor form on both fronts, as both players have been missing cuts in their past few tournaments. So are they washed up, or is this just a small blip on the road before they get back into the winning column? Either way, they'll have to step it up if they want the rest of the PGA to take them seriously. And there you have it, folks. The curtain falls on an epic showdown at the 2024 Masters. We've seen our fair share of nail-biters, but this was one for the storybooks. From Tiger's gritty comeback to the under-par Elite 8 braving Augusta's challenges, we've witnessed a masterclass in golf and greatness. And oh boy, did Scottie Scheffler school the competition, almost giving us a heart-stopper with that baby watch drama. If you've enjoyed watching these highlights on Good Bogey Golf, smash that subscribe button. We've got all the recaps, the reactions, and those sneaky insights you won't find anywhere else.